Hey guys, it's Tom. It's Sunday morning, about 11 o'clock, a couple minutes after, on the East Coast, and we've got a SOMSFA playoff game, a number 4-5 matchup. Usually very good matchups. And here you've got Kurt Retzlaff's Denver Broncos, 10-6 in the regular season, and they are on the road traveling to Ron Martin's Pittsburgh Steelers. Ron is 11-5. This is in a 24-team continuous draft league, modern teams. It's a spring league. We're using the most recent set available from Strat Football, which is still the 2015 NFL regular season. That was the year the Broncos beat Carolina in the NFL Super Bowl. We're waiting about a month or two until Strat releases the new game, which is the Patriots defeating the Falcons, and that exciting come from behind Super Bowl. And here in SOMSFA, we've got a couple of guys hoping to make the Super Bowl. They're going to have to win a couple of playoff games to do that. This would be the first. Dennis Crowley's 16-0 in SOMSFA this year with his Seattle Seahawks. He's made 3 straight Super Bowls. He's won 2 of the last 3, and he's looking to add to that performance for his franchise. The guys are in here and they know I'm ready. I told them I was ready, or I would be in a couple of minutes. Looks like Pittsburgh is going to receive. Ron plays a 3-4. He gets the average run defense and the good pass defense. All the teams in this league get average, but in the playoffs, the home team gets the good pass defense. Both clubs play a 3-4. Spell it off. I'm ready when you are, comma, guys. I was dictating there to the computer, letting them know I'm ready. I have a disability and can't use my hands well, and that's why I dictate these games. And there's the kickoff. And it is Keyshawn Martin returning it from the 2, only 11 yards. So Pittsburgh's going to start with poor field position at their own 13. He's a lot lucky it wasn't a fumble. That was on the split reading. Curtis, excellent opponent, KR. We've got Alex Smith, a quarterback here for the Steelers in this league. He's joining the 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set. Off tackle draw to the right to Ronnie Hillman. I think I played this team with my rebuilding or reloading Baltimore Ravens in SOMSFA. I remember facing Ronnie Hillman this year as Isaiah Crowell checks in. You've got Michael Crabtree as a wide receiver split left, Emmanuel Sanders to the right. 3-4 defense. Kobe Fleener is the tight end on the right, Martellus Bennett to the left. Not great run blocking here for Ron. Off tackle right to Crowell gets 12 plus 28 on Isaiah Crowell's card. A big early box cars roll for Ron Martin. As Isaiah Crowell doesn't have a great card, but Ron will run it anyway. He knows if you're going to guess wrong on him, he can have some success, even with the nose tackle 5 there. And he knows people are going to look for the pass more against Alex Smith, and they will look for the run. Short pass receiver gets right, incomplete for Emmanuel Sanders, who looks like he's not quite maxed out. 3.78. He might be. 3.78, 14. No, he's in 1926. Second down and 10 for the Steelers at their own 43. They're opening the opening possession of this playoff game. Kurt did a fine job with his team. I'm not sure whose offensive personnel is. Got off tackle left to Ronnie Hillman. Oakland Raider guard Gabe Jackson makes the block. He's a 5, and Hillman picks up 7. Big gain on 2nd and 10 to turn it to 3rd and 3. Defying containment. Ron going pistol. Ronnie Hillman in there. 3-4 defense for the Broncos. 5-4-0-5 against the pass at linebacker. Secondary's got 3 5s and a left corner 4, who's covering Emmanuel Sanders. Ron's got plenty of options here with this play. He's at the 50. Flat pass left to Martellus Bennett. Smith completes it for 7 yards. You see Alex Smith has an excellent flat pass card. He's known as being that type of quarterback in the NFL. Doesn't turn the ball over, doesn't take a lot of chances. Very accurate with the short distances. And the Steelers have a first down at the Denver 43. Off tackle right to Hillman. This time the Broncos gets run, and there's no gain for the NFL Bronco and Hillman. Who might not be on them right now. I don't think he is anymore. He may have signed elsewhere as a free agent or been released. Would have been 6 yards, gets wrong. Isaiah Crowell checks in for Ron. He's got the 1 carry for 28 yards. So Ron's going to look for dump-offs in the passing game. Looking back to Colby Fleener being double-teamed by Alex Smith, but 6 is still a 7-yard gain on Smith's card. Not being double-teamed by Alex Smith, being double-teamed by Denver. Ronti was Rusty playing. I feel like I'm Rusty calling. 6 and 7 complete on Smith's card on a flat pass double team. 3rd and 3 for Pittsburgh at the Denver 36. So if they don't get it, they'll probably go for it. You're in no man's land unless he has a real good kicker. Off tackle right to Hillman. No linebacker there gains 2. So now you've got 4th and 1 for the Steelers, the Denver 34. You expect them to go for it here rather than try a 51-yard field goal. And Ron will go for it, stays with his base formation. 2 tight ends, 2 wides. Defense goes 3-4. Your first big play here of the playoff game, and we're about 5 minutes in. Now, Hillman does not have a great guess right card. Linebacker Hillman loses a yard, guess right. Kurt stood around it in 3-4. Didn't move anybody. Didn't even bring up the safety to flood a flat, but he called run, and Ron had hit Hillman's card for a loss of 1. Probably looking for the defensive card there. And Ron tips his hat to Kurt and says, good call. And here come the Broncos, 1st and 10, taking over on downs from their own 35. Andy Dalton is the Denver quarterback. Goes blocking back halfback. Lamar Miller, the halfback. Sammy Watkins and Allen Hurns, the receivers. So some explosiveness there. Ron goes 3-4 with a 5-5-5. And the linebackers are 4-6-5-5 against the pass. Short pass, Allen Hurns. Defense guesses Robert is picked off of the defense's card. 2 to 5, 11 and 12. It's picked up on a 4. Intercepted the 50. And you know Ron's going to try to run this back. Let's see what happens. He's got daylight. 25-yard return. It's the rookie Ronald Darby, presumably the first-round pick for the Steelers, the corner for the NFL's Buffalo Bills, with the interception on a 4 split. So even on the average card, that would have been picked off on the defense. And the Broncos have got the Steelers have got the ball right back. Now the Denver 25. Left tackle left, Ronnie Hillman gets wrong. No linebackers there. Offensive onside guard, 7 or 2. Gabe Jackson makes another good block. That's a 7-yard gain. 2nd down and 3 for Pittsburgh at the Denver 18. Turnovers are so huge. And a guess wrong short pass turnover. You hate that. It's always a bad break. 2nd and 3. Especially with 3 men in zone. Ron going with the pistol formation. Linebackers there, Crowell. No linebackers there, a box in play, but he gets only a dreaded 5 plus 1. Ron was hoping for that 11 plus 23. It would have been a touchdown. Or 7 or 8. But can't complain about luck right now after that pick. 3rd and 2 for Pittsburgh at the Denver 17. So the Broncos would do very well here to hold the Steelers to a field goal attempt. 3-0 is certainly not the end of the world. Short pass to Martellus Bennett. Defense gets the pass, 3 men there. Alex Smith threads the needle for 10 yards and a 1st down. The short pass, not a bad play with a pretty good quarterback. On 3rd and short, you got the must-run opportunities in Alex Smith's card. You got the defense not having 4 men in zone. You got the dump-offs to play, and that was a dump-off. 5 and a 4, only a 1-7 sack. And the result is a 1st down for the Steelers at the Denver 7-yard line. Still goes with his base formation. Some people will go full house here. You can get a guess wrong call on the ground, but on the defense's card, you could be in trouble. The run blocking is not great here. It's not bad up the middle. Short pass, Colby Fleener. Defense guesses wrong. Receiver touchdown. 7-yard completion from Alex Smith to Colby Fleener. And Pittsburgh takes a 6-0 lead. Here's Matt Prater for the extra point. He is 2-10. It's up and good. 7-0 Steelers. They turn the turnover into a 25-yard touchdown drive with the short field, and they lead Denver 7-0 midway through the first quarter. The kick goes 8 yards deep into the end zone for Rashad Ross, who will likely down that, I imagine. And he does. And the Broncos will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20, hoping for better than they got the first time around from Andy Dalton, who was intercepted on the very first pass of the game. And this Steeler defense looks pretty stout And Ron's an excellent defensive coach. Emmer left, Lamar Miller defense gets the pass. Offensive outside end +2 or -1. Blocking back Brett Ellison is a 5, but a white die 6 resulted in a loss of a yard. So Denver not getting things going early on here on offense with some decent rolls, that's for sure. Kirk goes 4 wide here on 2nd and 11 from his own 19. Defense goes 3-3-5. Ron's extra is a 4. Looks like he's covering Marcus Wheaton. Allen Hurns is covered by a 4. Allen Hurns lined up as the 3rd wide receiver, which I don't think is legal. One pass to Allen Hurns, covered by a 4, incomplete on a 4 on Andy Dalton's card. There were no men in the zone. And single coverage against a 4. So Kurt was hoping for the defense's card, despite the good pass defense. You had 4 units of completion on Andy Dalton's card, only a 2, 3, and 12. 8 units of must-run and play. He's not great at it, but he can get you a couple yards. So it'll be 3rd and long for the Broncos at their own 19. 6:36 to go in the first quarter. They trail 7-0. Short pass to Rhett Ellison is a dump off instead. 5-yard check down to Lamar Miller. The first positive gain for the Broncos all day, but they're still going to have to punt. So on 4th and 6, John Ryan booms a 48-yarder. Looks like Bruce Ellington or Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders will try to field that back around his own 25 perhaps. Signals for a fair catch. And Pittsburgh takes over 1st and 10 at their own 28. My volume just disappeared, which makes me think we have an observer. We do. Very well. 1st down and 10 for the Steelers at their own 28. Looking past to Michael Crabtree, complete for 2 yards. Devon House makes a nice play. He's a 5. Was on, I believe, Jacksonville last year. This year returning to the Green Bay Packers as a free agent in the NFL. 2nd down and 8. Ronnie Hillman's mostly been the back, but we've seen Isaiah Crowell carry the ball a few times. Another looking pass to Crabtree. One linebacker in zone was only a 4. Receiver gets right, incomplete on Crabtree's card. And now Ron's got to face 3rd and long. He did convert a 3rd and 7, I believe, with a 10-yard completion on Alex Smith's card to set up that early touchdown. I do have a bit of a cold today, so forgive me if I'm hacking and wheezing during the broadcast. Bishop Sankey checks in. I haven't seen him in a while. 3rd down and 8 for the Steelers, presumably the best receiving back here for Ron Martin's club. Well, I think Isaiah Crowell might not be the best. Ron knows what he's doing. Short pass, Michael Crabtree double-teamed. Smith can't connect, and the Steelers will have to punt from their own 30, 4th and 8, 4:30 to go. It'll be Brad Nortman, the Carolina Panther, a 47-yard punt down inside the 25, I think the 23-yard line. Marcus Murphy will try to field it for the Broncos. Let's hope for nothing disastrous. Calls the fair catch. He does have a touchdown on 2. Excuse me. So Denver will hope for more than a 3-and-out or a turnover on this possession, because that's what happened in their first 2 possessions. First play of the game for them was an interception, and then 3-and-out on their last possession. Sammy Watkins and Allen Hurns, the receivers. Off tackle right to Lamar Miller gets wrong. It's a 4-yard gain. Miller, if I recall, has a pretty good end run card. He is chunky. He's not very good against right. I think he's a decent receiver. So I wouldn't mind pounding end runs left over here, because Ron's not going to want to bring up that right outside linebacker too much, thanks to Miller's receiving card. Ron shows blitz here on 2nd down and 6. And Emmer right, Lamar Miller, short gain, 14-yard pickup and a 1st down for Denver up at their own 41. See, this Emmer wrong card is pretty good. 2 long gains, 7 short gain, 11 and 12 are big runs. Then you got an 8-yarder, 5-yarder, 6-yarder in there. And a couple 2, 3, and 4s, and of course a dreaded 5. But that's a pretty nice column to roll into for a running play. Make sure you guess wrong, or you might lose 8 yards on a guess right reading. 1st and 10 for Denver at their own 41. Flat pass left to Lamar Miller. We talked about his receiving, and there it is. Receiver gets right, 7-yard gain. Pretty decent yardage there on the 8 and 9. 2nd down and 3 for the Broncos, up by midfield. First time that they're moving the ball today. Julius Thomas is the tight end. Off tackle right to Miller, nobody there. Offensive onside end, 5-0, but Thomas only a 4. Can't make the block. And the Broncos will face 3rd and 3. Big third down here as Tim Hightower checks in. Broncos would love to convert this, keep things going. Threaten the red zone, get on the scoreboard. But they'll have to convert on 3rd and 3. I like the look of this Pittsburgh defense. 3-4 defense showing blitz. Must be some weak pass blocking here for the Broncos. I'll try to check that out when I can. He's got good run blocking. 5's everywhere except the center's only a 4, and the tight end's a 4. He's been going with the blocking back formation, which opens him up to more double teams, I would say. Short pass, Sammy Watkins. Defense guesses wrong. Dot reading is a long gain on the showing blitz. Ron Martin show blitz. Being aggressive, tried to do the old show blitz guess run. And Kurt challenged him with a short pass, got the sniper scope, 40-yard catch and run. The safety out of position from Andy Dalton to Sammy Watkins. 1st and goal for Denver at the Pittsburgh 12. Short pass, Julius Thomas. Defense double teaming. 12 is incomplete. 11 was picked off. I see a 7 and a 5 at left tackle and left guard here for the Broncos. Ron may have some good pass rush. I know he's got Clay Matthews on one of his teams. 3-4 defense, 2nd down and 10 for the Broncos at the Pittsburgh 12. Trying to tie up this game. They trail 7-0. Last minute of the first quarter. Short pass, Julius Thomas. 3 men there. Covered by 4. 7 is incomplete on Dalton's card. 3 through 6 was a first down. Some of that was a touchdown. 2-5-9, 14 units of short pass rifle, the red rifle. But now it's 3rd and long for the Broncos at the Pittsburgh 12. Facing that good pass defense, you don't want to throw that interception, but you don't want to be too conservative here. You're already losing by a touchdown. Be aggressive, go for the touchdown. It's more than twice as good as a field goal, especially when you're already down. 4 wide, 1 halfback. Shotgun formation. Defense 3-3-5 blitz. Ron's been showing blitz a few times here. Center's a 45. Flat pass right to Lamar Miller. There's a man there. Receiver gets right, only a 5-yard gain. He got the wide die 6, so there was no men in zone, but he got a receiver reading, and now he's going to try an extra field goal, with Dan Carpenter to start the second quarter. And it's up and good, 2-11. Carpenter has a good kicking card this year. And Denver now trails 7-3, but they are on the board. And the kick goes 9 yards deep into the end zone for Keyshawn Martin, who was likely to down it. He does take a knee, and Pittsburgh will start at their own 20. Of course, next year that'll be at the 25, as it is in the NFL. Now, Strat-O-Matic will follow that up, of course, with the new set. Long pass, Emmanuel Sanders double team, receiver incomplete. That might have been a 9 receiver reading on that 3rd and 10 for Denver before they got the field goal, which means if they had thrown short, it might have been picked off. They might be losing 7-0 here. Second down and 10 for the Steelers at their own 20. Short pass, Martellus Bennett. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Alex Smith takes off the scramble. 11 yards in a first down. 2-5 is 10 yards or more. 2-8 is 6 yards or more. Smith, a very good running quarterback. And the Steelers have a first down at their own 31. We've seen some double teaming from Kurt on defense the last 2 plays. Well-coached game so far. Looking past the Kobe Fleener. Defense guesses run. 1 man there. Defender -2 or +4. Patrick Chung makes the play. 5 against the 4. Incomplete. Now, Ron has seen Kurt bring 1 or 2 of those inside linebackers up. And Ron was running off tackles early. Now he's peppering in those looking passes to try and keep those inside linebackers back and keep his run game going. Long pass to Emmanuel Sanders. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 7 is an interception split that falls incomplete. Only 2-4 and 12 with no men in zone. But the Steelers will now face a 3rd and 10. Ron taking some deep shots at that 4, covering Emmanuel Sanders, who I believe is at least 12, 18 deep. We got a 3rd and 10 here. Now, Denver has not really pressured Alex Smith too much here. They're not showing blitz. They're going to go 3-3-5. You want to get a correct double team here. The dump off is dangerous, though. And we got a short pass to Fleener, not being double teamed. Smith scrambles, but only gains 4 this time on the dump off. 5 versus a 6, 1 to 24 sack for Rob Ninkovich, but it was an 89. And the Steelers will punt for the second straight possession. This is from their own 35, 4th and 6, early second quarter. Kurt doing a nice job on defense after having to defend the short field and gave up that touchdown. Otherwise, he's been doing pretty well. 47-yard punt inside the 20. Marcus Murphy, who has a touchdown on 2. A little anticlimactic there with the Strat-O-Matic delay, but he gets a 12 for 3 yards. And it's a 44-yard net, which Ron will take. And the Broncos have got a first down at their own 21. 12-18 before the half. They trail 7-3. And Denver comes out 3 wide, 2 running back. Decent formation to use at times. There's no white die penalty. You do suffer a run blocking penalty and perhaps a pass blocking penalty. But not everyone knows those rules. Off tackle left to Lamar Miller. Nose tackle +4 or +9. Only a 4-yard gain as Rodney Gunter makes the play, 5 and a 5. Gunter did not start for the Cardinals in the 2016 NFL season. Scheduled to be, I believe, a 3-4 starting in next year. Short pass to Allen Hurns at 2nd and 6. Defender extra short gain. He's only covered by a 4. And no, that's Ronald Darby's a 5. The 4 is a strong safety covering Julius Thomas. So Darby, who had that interception in the first quarter to set up Pittsburgh's touchdown, now makes a good play. The rookie making his presence felt here today. 3rd and 6 for Denver. Defense goes nickel 3-3-5. Offense in the 2 tight end, 2 wide. Blake Bell, the second tight end, not a great receiving tight end yet. He has some athletic ability, certainly. And a lot of guys being covered by good defenders here for Ron. Extra defensive backs of 4. Let's look at these run ratings if we can. .55 Josh Bynes, 65 Danny Trevathan, that linebacker. Looking past Blake Bell, 2 men there, incomplete on the defense's card. On a 7, that was a white die 5, would have been incomplete anyway. Ron bringing up the safety and the extra DB on 3rd and 6, forcing the Broncos to punt. John Ryan comes out again. It's a 50-yarder down to about his own 25. Here's Emmanuel Sanders, who's been very involved in the game so far. And Sanders signals for a fair catch. There's been a long delay in these punt returns. I wonder if it's the animation that I'm using. But I do think that the game is a much better broadcast or much better to watch when animation is on. When I'm playing, I never use animation. Short pass Emmanuel Sanders, double teamed again, is incomplete. That's TJ Ward playing deep safety for this Bronco team on the double team. Sanders covered by a 4, getting a lot of extra attention from Kurt, who's doing a nice job on that side of the ball. Well-coached game so far. Very close contest. Ron has gone away from the run his last couple of possessions. Let's see if he tries to mix something in here on 2nd and 10. Maybe Kurt knows that. Maybe he goes for run call. Flat pass right, Isaiah Crowell, white die 6. 9-yard pickup. So Alex Smith looks for Isaiah Crowell out of the backfield and it gets a healthy 9-yard gain to set a 3rd and 1 for the Steelers at their own 34. It's been a defensive game for a little while here. Someone trying to break through, get a couple of first downs, get something going. 3rd and 1, a good time to do it. Linebacker Alex Smith, 11 no yards, guess wrong. Only 11 and 12. Guess wrong. So it'll be another punt. We're getting a punt fest here. Brad Nortman. 46-yarder, down to about his own 20 is Murphy. Don't want to keep giving this guy shots at his snake eyes touchdown. But what are you going to do? You got to punt it. And Murphy gets a 5-yard gain on the 7-8-12. The opponent PR for Ron, which is fine. And Denver takes over 1st and 10, their own 25. Balkenback, 1 halfback. 9 minutes to go before the half. Pittsburgh 7, Denver 3. The big play was an Andy Dalton interception on Denver's first offensive play of the game. That was returned by Pittsburgh to the 25. They cashed it in for a touchdown a few minutes later. Off tackle right, Lamar Miller. Defense gets things wrong, but 1 linebacker there. He's a 5 against the run. Blocking back +1 or -1. This time Ellison makes the play. It's a 1-yard gain. That might have been an all-out blitz for Ron. Certainly saw at least 3 linebackers up there on the line of scrimmage. Kirk goes to the 3 wide, 2 running back again. His third receiver is Marcus Wheaton, now covered by the 4, who's more dangerous than Julius Thomas at this point. But Thomas still in there as the fullback. And he's covered by a 4. So he's got some matchups there. And he can run the ball with the white die. I think we'll see a run here. We saw it last time he went to this formation. How about an off-tackle draw, maybe? Try to force Ron to call run. Short pass, Julius Thomas. Receiver gets right. 12 yards and a first down. And Thomas, better receiving card than I thought. 259-14. That's a 1926 card on the short pass. I thought it would have been a little worse than that. Hasn't really panned out once he left Peyton Manning. And just got traded, I think, to the Miami Dolphins, who do a good job using passing targets with Adam Gase. So maybe Thomas will have some rejuvenation this year. We'll see. Short pass, Marcus Wheaton being double teamed. Dalton goes down and sacked. There's a loose ball, but Denver has it, it looks like. Will they try to advance? They try to advance, but go nowhere. So it was linebacker Derek Morgan coming free after Ezekiel Ansah occupied a couple of blockers. So that's Ziggy Ansah left in for Pittsburgh. He's like a 5'12", 6. It was a 5-14, 1-88 sack. Second 21. Long pass, Lamar Miller covered by 5. Picked off 2 to 7. Dalton picked off again, this time at Pittsburgh's 43-yard line as he was going deep on second 21. And only a 4-yard gain this time. Josh Bynes, the outside linebacker, hustling downfield. Looks like it may have been underthrown by Dalton. And Pittsburgh gets their second turnover of the game on defense. Now they're throwing 47. Short pass, Martellus Bennett, incomplete. Receiver gets right with 3 men in zone. He's also a 1926, as Julius Thomas was. 6:54 to go in the first half. 7-3 Pittsburgh. Defensive battle. Isaiah Crowell checks in. Can anyone get a drive going here? We'll find out. Off tackle left, Isaiah Crowell. Offensive onside tackle, 8-3. And that is Ryan Harris, the 4, making the block for a big 8-yard gain. That's, that's a big play on 2nd and 10. You get 7 or 8 yards instead of 2 or 3. And then the Steelers cross midfield. They've got a 3rd and 2 at the Denver 45. Brown will probably go out of bounds punt here if he doesn't convert. 3rd and 2, you feel like you should convert. Off tackle left, Isaiah Crowell, 12 +9, a first down. Big first down for Pittsburgh. They had some bad luck on 3rd and short on a couple of previous tries, including a linebacker wrong with Alex Smith. That went nowhere on his own card on an 11. But now they get the box scores for Crowell. And we're right, Alex Smith gets wrong. 6-yard gain. He's got a solid M-run card there, gets wrong. And Pittsburgh's in field goal range, 2nd down and 4 from the Denver 30. You never want to think field goal, really. Unless maybe it's a game-winning kick, 2-11. But 2nd and 4 for Pittsburgh at the Denver 30, 5 or 6 to go. Off tackle left, Ronnie Hillman, offensive onside tackle. This time doesn't make the block. Kurtz is finally on defense. You don't want to see the 4s making too many blocks. That's demoralizing. 3rd and 2 for the Broncos, for the Steelers. Another 3rd and short. Can they convert this one? Not sure who Ron Martin's kicker is. 4:30 to go on the flat pass left. Martellus Bennett, guessed wrong. Defender X +2 or +5, only a 2-yard gain. Has Donta Hightower made a nice play, but that's enough for a first down. And Pittsburgh's got the ball at the Denver 26, only 3:54 to go in the first half. Off tackle left, Ronnie Hillman, offensive onside tackle. Ryan Harris showing his true colors now, missing a couple of blocks, resulting in the 2nd and 9 for the Steelers. 3:18 to go. Oh, Ron would love to milk the rest of this clock, or as much of it as he can, and score, preferably a touchdown, of course. Denver will get the ball to start the second half. This is a key sequence here. Broncos want to stay within a touchdown, certainly. Off tackle right to Crowell, gets wrong, is a 4-yard gain. 3rd and 5 for Pittsburgh at the Denver 21. Prater is 2 to 10 out to the 32. So, and 2 to 11 from the 1 to 12. So the field goal is a very nice backup plan. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. Pistol formation. Nickel 3-3-5. I don't know what kind of running card Bishop Sankey has. You could see a run here. Runs blocking, not the best. A linebacker would be the one, I guess. Flat pass right, Colby Fleener. Linebacker zone extra short, is a 5. The veteran Manny Lawson against the 4. And Matt Prater will come out for a 38-yard attempt. It's 2-10 good. It's up and good, and the Steelers take a 10-3 lead. Extend their lead to 10-3, I should say. 2:06 to go in the first half. That is enough time for Denver to get going. But they get a good kick return, and they do. Kick goes down to the 1. Rashad Ross takes it 26 yards. Marcus Murphy, rather, takes it 26 yards. Out to his own 27. 2-minute warning. And the Broncos trailed 10-3. They scored on after a 40-yard completion from Andy Dalton to Sammy Watkins on a sniper scope reading on a short pass. Kirk comes out in the blocking back, 1 halfback again. That has been his default choice. And we're left Lamar Miller, defensive end, +1 or +5. Chandler Jones makes the play, 5 and a 5. 2nd and 9 for the Broncos. Winner of this game makes the SOMSFA semifinals, where if form holds, they would face Joe Golden, I believe. Or maybe not. This is a 4-5 game. Okay. So that'll have to be seen. No one calls timeout there. 2nd 9, 1:30 to go. Host tackle draw to Lamar Miller. Offensive onside guard, 7-2. Ramon Forster makes the block, 5 on a 5. Let's see if Kirk goes hurry up on 3rd and 2 or waits for the conversion. He does go hurry up, down by a touchdown. That makes sense. He's going to try to get this first down, see if he can get something going, get on the board before halftime, 1:07 to go. 3rd and 2. He has all 3 timeouts. Ron goes with a 3-4 defense, not continuing the run. Off tackle right, Lamar Miller gains 8 yards behind Bobby Massey. As the Bronco offensive line starting to make their presence felt in the running game here on this possession. And Kirk calls his first timeout, doing a nice job managing the clock and the situation. 2 timeouts left for the Broncos. They're at their own 43. Dan Carpenter, I think, is 2-7, out to like the 41 or something. So it doesn't need to get too far. Flat pass right, Sammy Watkins. Defender +2 or +8. That's probably going to be a 2-yard gain. 2-yard gain is Jason Verrett, the San Diego Chargers, is 6. 2nd and 8 for Denver. They don't have to call timeout after the quick out to Watkins, who stepped out of bounds. And now they go 4 wide. Now you might see Ron move that middle linebacker out of the way. You might not. The Broncos do it 2 timeouts. Long pass, Kamar Aiken, incomplete. I would like to see Denver stay in the base offense. Maybe run some end run. Maybe keep Ron away from a nickel package. Make Ron go nickel, and then you can kind of work around it. Here you can play for a field goal attempt, certainly. But now it's 3rd and 8, and you got to play for a first down. Interesting. Will Kirk run a play that might only gain 5 or 6 yards and say, I'll go for it after that? Around midfield, about 30, 35 seconds before the half, already trailing. I don't know. That might be the setup. We'll see. Ron goes nickel 3-3-5. Kurt stays base offense. Short pass Lamar Miller being covered by 5. 3 men there. Defender extra short gain, incomplete. That is Josh Bynes making another good play in coverage. And the Broncos will punt 4th and 8 from their own 45. 37 seconds to go in the half. And then you'll probably see Ron run out the clock and take a touchdown lead into the locker rooms, but we'll see. The kick is 40 yards, and it's down to the 15 for Bruce Ellington, who I don't think has got a great return card. He's on one of my teams. And actually the kick bounces. Ellington can't even get his hands on it. And it takes a Bronco bounce going 11 yards down to the Pittsburgh 4-yard line. I know Ronnie Hillman has a low fumble number, so you might see him in there, but I think Crow's got a couple of big runs. You know, you might see him in there, maybe get lucky on a 2 or 12. We got the pro set here with Michael Humanawan, Michael Humanawanwi. That's not right. Denver's only got 2 timeouts, so looks like a right to Hellman gains 8 yards, so Pittsburgh gets some breathing room. A 1-14 fumble out of 1,000. Denver calls timeout, but They don't seem likely to force Pittsburgh to punt here. Pittsburgh could take a knee twice and run out the half. They could run a play, see what happens. 15-8-1. He's got Matt Prater. So I think he only needs to get to about the 42. It's 46 yards in 3 plays. You don't want to be too aggressive here. It's been a defensive game. You're winning 10-3. Possibility of a flat pass to Ronnie Hillman. But I think you'll see Ron on the ground. He plays a little conservative. Likes to not make things hard for his defense, not make it too easy for the other guy to score. And run for Ronnie Hillman right, linebacker -5 or +6. And that is a 6-yard gain for a first down. Now, does Ron call timeout here? Maybe bring Kroll in the game if his fumble number is not too high? Or is he going to let the half run out? If he calls timeout here, 15 seconds. He's going to get 2 more plays. No, Ron lets the clock expire. And we go to halftime with the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the Denver Broncos 10-3. Defensive game. And we have got a 2-minute break here. It's Mike Nebo. Finding Mike Nebo is watching the game. Hello, Mike. Welcome. And I think when you're observing, it doesn't let you look at the computer manager. Yes, it does. Oh, that's very nice. I didn't even know that. So you can see why Ron has been doing some pre-safety blitzing. Ziggy Ansah, the 5-12-6, but also Chandler Jones, the 5-12. Although Kurt's got a 7 at left tackle. Derek Morgan is outside linebacker 8. That's weird. It will not let me view the opponent manager, but it let me view the home team manager. Let's see if I can bring up the Broncos in league manager. I mean, either of these teams, really great personnel. So they both did a real nice job to get 4 and 5 seeds. They're not to play in the wild card round. So you see there's a 7 at left tackle for Kurt. Gerald Veld here. The rest of these guys are 5s. So if you got some 12s and a free safety blitz and a couple of blitzes to bump up, you certainly can do some damage against them. But I would not say overwhelming unless you bring maybe 3 linebackers. And Ron's got good coverage on the outside with the 6 at right corner. I think it's Jason Verrett and Ronald Darby, the 5 at left corner. Young pair of corners. They won't be good next year. Verrett was injured and Darby had a drop off in play. But long term, you hope that if Verrett's health comes around, he certainly looks real good. Always dicey when a player starts getting injured a lot early in his career to rely upon him. Sometimes they get it sorted out, but it seems like more often it hurts them for throughout their career. Big day today in the SOMSFA, the SOMSFA family of leagues. For the 2 spring leagues, SSFA and SOMSFA, calling this game right here. Then 6 o'clock Eastern tonight, I'll be calling Dennis Crowley's game. The undefeated Seattle Seahawks, 16-0, playing the 9-7 upstart Philadelphia Eagles. And Ron Martin is now back and ready. NFL Ed's got a game at 1:30 that Dennis is calling. There's an SSFA playoff game also at 6 p.m. Eastern that Michael Reeves is going to call. So a lot going on. And we'll have to sort it all out at the end of the night and take a look and see what matchups are coming forward this week. So we're going to start the second half here. Matt Prater kicked it into the end zone for a touchback. And the Broncos come out down 10-3. Tim Hightower, the running back now. It was Lamar Miller in the first half. I think Hightower's not as bad, guessed right. Miller more dangerous, guessed wrong. But this defense, 5-5-5 on the line, a very strong secondary. Linebacker Hightower, nose tackle +1 and +12. There's the 5. Rodney Gunter making the play. Second down and 9 for the Broncos. Bronco offense has really struggled. Not that Pittsburgh has been lighting it up either. Outside of that 40-yard completion from Dalton to Sammy Watkins, nothing really going on for Denver in the first half. Second down and 9. Linebacker draw to Tim Hightower, blocking back +3 or +1. And Kurt's had some bad luck with blocking back 5, Rhett Ellison. The only reason he's in there is because he's a run blocking 5. He's missed a couple of blocks, and now he's got 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 6. And that certainly makes a difference. So Kurt goes 3 wide, 1 halfback. Ron goes counters with the nickel. Marcus Wheaton is covered by the 4. Linebackers are 4-6-5 left to right against the pass. Ron has a long pass. Sammy Watkins, snake eyes, long gain in Dalton's card, +52 and a first down. Flipping the field all the way down to the Pittsburgh 26. On 3rd and 8, with Watkins covered by a 6, no less. Kurt decides to go up top and gets rewarded with the unlikely long gain on Dalton's guess right guard. Only 4 units of completion. Only 2 of those a long gain. And not just a long gain, but a 52-yard completion. Ron's got to be upset about that. 1st and 10, Denver, the Pittsburgh 26. Short pass, Allen Hearns, receiver incomplete. Hearns looks like a 1926. He's got good yardage up and down that card. I think Watkins might only have 2 catches for 92 yards. Second down and 10 for Denver. Dalton has been picked off twice. Denver got down here once before. Got down to the Pittsburgh 12 before settling for a field goal. Emron left Tim Hightower. Defense guesses run. No gain. A run caught of nowhere for Ron. And a nice job there. Would have been only 3 yards. Guessed wrong. And from what I see so far, I think I would like to see Lamar Miller in there a lot more than Tim Hightower. 3rd down and 10. Defense showing blitz. 3 wide, 1 halfback for the Broncos. He's got to fear the sack here that'll push him out of field goal range. Long pass, Allen Hearns, dump off for 4 yards to Miller. Ron Schobitz didn't bring it. There was a dump-off situation. And the kick at field goal is good. 2-9 and 12. It was a 39-yard kick for Dan Carpenter. Makes it a 10-6 game. And on that pass rush situation, it was a white die 6. It would have been the free safety blitzing. Well, Ron might have blitzed actually, because you got multiple asterisks and the game alternates asterisks. But Ounce's reading came up only 4 and a 5. It was a 72 anyway, so I don't think 4 and a 10 would have got the job done. Here's the kickoff 8 yards deep into the end zone. Probably see another touchback, and you do. So the Broncos offense so far today has been 2 huge bombs to Sammy Watkins to set up field goals. That's all they've done. Pittsburgh's maybe been a little more sustained. I don't know who has more yards offense. It's been a defensive game. Pittsburgh got the 2 turnovers. And still trying to make that first half touchdown on the short field. Hold up. So their first possession of the second half. Flat pass left to Michael Crabtree. 2-man in zone, incomplete. He was double-teamed successfully by the Broncos. Kurt's done a nice job with some double-teaming today. Alex Smith, 7 of 17 for 44 yards. So I guess Denver certainly has more yards of offense. Emma right to Ronnie Hillman. 8 on the defense's card is 12 yards on the first down. Defensive coaches hate that reading. It's kind of hard to do anything about it. Don't like to bring your outside linebackers up too much. They have coverage responsibilities. And you give up 12-yard gains to backs who aren't that great, perhaps. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. They're on 32. Early second half, they lead 10-6. SOMSFA playoff game. Winner makes the semifinals. Off tackle left, Isaiah Kroll, offensive onside tackle 8-3. Ryan Harris keeps coming up. And Ron would rather he didn't, but Ron's best blocking is up the middle. But these backs might not be that great up the middle. So he's done a good job with this team. They both have 10-6, 11-5. These teams aren't automatically belonging with those records. Linebacker draw to Hillman this time. Guess wrong is a 5-yard gain. And this linebacker wrong card is not too bad. I know 6 + 3, 8 + 1, but those are where your 5s are. But then again, these 3-4s will often bring up one guy, so you can run into one linebacker more often. Off tackle, maybe you get that 0 linebacker column. 3rd and 2 for Pittsburgh. It's been a mixed bag for the Steelers in 3rd and short today. Flat pass right, Martellus Bennett, complete for a first down from Alex Smith, 6-yard gain. And Pittsburgh's up to their own 46. We have seen Pittsburgh get going with a few drives, a couple of first downs, some flat passing, some running. And that's what they're trying to do again here. Midway through the 3rd quarter, they lead 10-6. 2 tight end, 2 wide, 1 running back has been the default formation for Pittsburgh. And my right, Ronnie Hillman, there's a linebacker there. 7 gets wrong as a 5-yard gain. The difference here is that Hillman has some big runs on the end that aren't there on the edge, as Dennis would say, that aren't there running up the middle. 13 carries for 56 yards, so he's been effective. Low fumble number. 2nd down and 5, 8:06 to go. Isaiah Crowell checks in. What kind of card will he have next year? People are curious. Perhaps chunky? Find out in a month or two. Looking past to Colby Fleener. Gets wrong as a 7-yard gain. 9-yard gain, rather, on a 7. First down from Smith to Fleener. Pittsburgh at the Denver 40. One of the better drives of the day so far. Broncos want to keep Pittsburgh off the board here. No more first downs if you can help it. Keep them even away from even a field goal. Off tackle left, linebacker -1 or +4. Denzel Perriman is a 5. A lot of highly drafted rookies running around in this game. Perriman was probably a 2nd-round pick or so. It's a 1-yard loss. Makes it 2nd down and 11 for the Steelers at the Denver 41. Defense showing blitz this time. Giving Ron a taste of his own medicine. I bet we see a double team of Sanders. Maybe a linebacker draw for Ron to counter. And we're right, Alex Smith, the linebacker there. Snake eyes, +29. Smith takes off around the end, all the way down to the Denver 12-yard line. So Ron not respecting any threat of a run call. Does the M-run quarterback on 2nd and 11 when the defense is showing blitz and is rewarded. All these short gains in Smith's card. 2 is a 20-yard, 9-yarder. He's had 5 carries, 50 yards, and now the Steelers are thinking touchdown. They're at the 12. And remember, right, Ronnie Hillman, offensive onside in 9 a 4. It's Kobe Fleener is only a 4. White die 6 anyway, 4-yard gain. The Steelers are inside the 10. 2nd and 6, Pittsburgh from the Denver 8. 5:42 to go in the 3rd quarter. Stays with his default formation with Ronnie Hillman as the running back. 15 carries, 59 yards. Short pass to Fleener, double teaming elsewhere. Receiver gets right, incomplete on Kobe, who was 16 of 22 short pass. Might be slightly better that next year. We'll see. He's on one of my teams. He's been a stalwart from my SOMSFA team. The number 2 tight end behind Zach Ertz. Alex Smith 9 of 20 for 59 yards. Late 3rd quarter. 3rd and 6 now from the 8. Touchdown here would be huge. What a play here. Field goal keeps it 13-6. Touchdown really puts Denver in a tough spot, especially with their offenses playing. And run left, Alex Smith defense gets his right. Gets the 8 -2. This time Kurt says, I'm not going to fall for that again. And he makes a good call. Sets up a 4th and 8. Matt Prater comes out for the field goal, 2-11. It's good, 27-yard kick. Pittsburgh extends their lead to 13-6. Ron wanted that touchdown to get ahead by more than one score, but he's not. Kick goes 3 yards deep for Rashad Ross. Will he take it out or not? Probably, I think. I think he's got a decent card. I don't know what Ron's opponent KR is off the top of my head. He takes it out, 21-yard gain out to the 18. He does have a touchdown at 2. The 7-8-12 is not that great, so good choice there by Kurt. Was not rewarded. And that kick was only 3 yards deep. He's not going to be running it out on those 8 and 9 yard kicks that are 8 and 9 yards deep. And Lamar Miller back in, who does not have unlimited carries, so I can see why you have to use Hightower. Off tackle left, 10 is a 4-yard gain. Second down and 6. Broncos trailing 13-6. It's been a tight, close ball game. Well coached. Two guys who probably overachieved with their teams. Not the best quarterback-running back combinations that you've ever seen. I do like Ron's defense, though. Lamar Miller, 10 carries, 42 yards. Flat pass left to Julius Thomas. There is a linebacker there. 6 is a 6-yard gain. And a first down from Dalton to Thomas. Dalton, 9 of 19 for a $133. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 92 of his passing yards came on 2 passes. One a short pass, sniper scope. Another a long pass, snake eyes long gain on Dalton's card. Broncos trail 13-6. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. As Yogi Berra would say, it gets late early around here. Flat pass right to Red Ellison. Receiver gets wrong. Is a 6-yard gain. And it's 2nd and 4 for the Broncos up at their own 34. Kurtz had a couple of big plays, not a lot of sustained offense today. I'm used to calling night games. I'm not used to saying today. The sun is out. Off tackle left, Lamar Miller. Offensive on-tackle guard 7-2, Ramon Foster. So a little of that in the 2-minute offense from the Broncos before halftime, where their offensive line started getting some blocking readings. They were making the blocks. They're almost all 5s. Really no line bucks from Lamar Miller. 3rd and 2. Big 3rd and 2. Off tackle right, Lamar Miller. Linebacker in his own, -2 +3. Danny Trevathan, a 5 against the run, makes the play. As Kurt ran into the off-tackle zone where the linebacker was skillfully placed by Ron, and he has to punt again, 4th and 4. Ron, known for his defense and getting the job done. Again, a 40-yard kick down to about the 25. Bruce Ellington, his own 26. And he signals for a fair catch, as he is wont to do. Look at all those fair catches. Ugh, that's kind of ugly. But 2, 7, 8, and 12 is nice. Bad opponent coverage for Denver here. That could come up in the fourth quarter. Off tackle left for Ronnie Hillman. 1st and 10, 3-yard gain. Ron starting that drive, this drive at his own 26. Only 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. This game moving right along. It's not even 12 noon Eastern. Very nice pace, easy to call. Not too much hurrying, not too much slowness. Hillman, 16 carries, 62 yards. 2nd and 7, flat pass left, Martellus Bennett. There's a linebacker 5 there. And 6 and Alex Smith's card is a 7-yard gain. You can almost feel Ron starting to grind out this victory. There's a whole quarter to play, but more sustained offense, some good defensive calls. Kurtz had a couple of big plays, but that's about it. 1st and 10 Steelers as we start the fourth quarter. And it's 1:36. Emmer right to Ronnie Hillman. Blocking back +5 or -1, but it's a 1-yard loss. No blocking back on the field. Would have had to have been a 6 anyway on the white die 6. Or will Kirk get one more big play and then finally get the end zone, maybe tie this game up, go to overtime? Who knows? That's what we'll find out here in the next 15 minutes or so. Off tackle draw to Kroll. Defense calls run on 2nd and 11. Blocking back 0 or -1, a 1-yard gain. Nice call by Kurt. Both these coaches have made some good key defensive calls against the run, particularly. And we've got a 3rd down and 12 for Ron at his own 34. Ron stays 2 tight end. We might see something safe and then a punt. Ron has been playing good defense. He has a good defense. He's a defensive-minded guy. So let's see what he does here. I have no idea what kind of card Sankey has. So a flat pass might be more likely than a run, unless he's open for a box score on the 8. Maybe a blocker reading to add to the punt. Marcus Murphy does have a touchdown and 2, but otherwise not much of a threat there in the punt return game for the Broncos. Good coverage for Pittsburgh. Ron taking his time here. 3rd and 12. Short pass, Emmanuel Sanders. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Box score is incomplete on a 12 for Alex Smith. And here comes John Ryan. I believe there's no Brad Nortman. Is Ron's punter out to kick. Ron wants a nice punt. Gets it a good one, a 48-yarder. That should be inside the 20. Or maybe not. Yes, Mark Murphy from his own 18. It's about his 5th chance at a punt today. And this one goes nowhere. Literally a 0-yard gain. And the Broncos are up against it again at their own 18. The field position has been good for the Steeler defense when they've come on the field. Will Kurt take a couple of shots at some bombs, saying that's the only thing that's worked for me is getting some big plays. One on a sniper scope. Ron seems likely to let Earl Thomas stand back there as the free safety 6 with good pass defense cards, and Dalton not being that great on the bomb, as opposed to maybe some double covering, at least until Denver maybe gets up more towards midfield. Off tackle left, Lamar Miller, dreaded 5, gets wrong as no gain. Snake Eyes plus 85. Kurt would be more than happy to take that, that's for sure. Ron blitzed some linebackers that time. And Kurt's offense is going nowhere. Not a great offense. Ron's got a good defense. He's got the good pass defense card. And these guys are both good coaches. Ron's playing a 3-4. You don't feel confident aggressively flat passing against that. Once you loosen that up with some downfield passing or some running. Ron's done a good job getting run correctly. It's been a tough offensive game for both teams. 2nd down and 10. Offense goes 4 wide. Long pass, Allen Hurns. Receiver gets right. Incomplete on a 7. Hurns is a 12-18. And 6 and 8 were complete. As that was interesting, as the offense went 4 wide, and Ron stayed in a 3-4 defense. Not respecting the 4 wide. 3rd and 10 for Denver. They go 4. And again, this time Ron goes nickel 3-3-5. Allen Hurns, the 3rd receiver. I guess Aiken is higher on its spreadsheet, probably more completion chances. I'm not sure. But it's not my place to say. Short pass to Allen Hurns being double teamed. 4-man in zone. Incomplete. Ron forces another punt. Easy peasy defense. 12 minutes to go in the game. He leads 13-6. Now, John Moran's getting punted. Wants a 7-8-12 on the return here. I'll tell you that much. 50-yarder will be down to about the 32. Can he get a 7-8-12? Emmanuel Sanders. Got to have a better call than Ellington, right? Has not gotten it, guys. There he goes. 14 yards. So it's only a 36-yard net. And with Ron's defense playing well, setting up the Pittsburgh offense with good field position at their own 46, 11:42 to go. Now Ron would take a field goal. Any score here would be huge. Gets it out to be more than a 1-score game against an offense that is struggling mightily. Short pass, Emmanuel Sanders gets wrong. Interception split incomplete on Alex Smith's card. I don't think that would have been picked off guess right with Alex. He's very good at avoiding the interceptions. 2-4 guess right, it would have been closer. But Ron really wanted that completion on a play-action pass. 2nd down and 10 for the Steelers at their own 46. 11:24 to go in the game. They lead 13-6. Can they get a couple of first downs, kick a field goal, take a huge lead, a huge 2-score lead? Short pass, Michael Crabtree, 3-man there. Must run for Smith. Takes off, gains 7. He's got 7 carries for 55 yards. A lot of that on a 29-yard run, but he's had a couple of good scrambles too, including a first down early in the game on, I think, a 10-yarder or an 11-yarder. But now we've got 3rd and 3 for the Steelers at the Bronco 47. Big 3rd down in the game. Can they convert this one? Keep the chains moving, keep the clock running. Flat pass left, Martellus Bennett being double teamed, incomplete on a white die 6. What a key double team by Kurt. That would have been no men in zone and a 30-yard gain, I believe, if he had not successfully double teamed or flooded the zone. So Ron's going to punt it. 4th and 3 from the Denver 47. He'll go out of bounds. So we do see a call for corner, and not a good one by Brad Nortman, who has been good so far today. But that one, only 26 yards, not disastrous. Denver gets it at their own 21. Ron would have liked to see another 5-10 yards on that kick. That's for sure. At least it was not returnable. So we see the 3 wide, 2 running backs for Kurt. We've seen that a few times today. Short pass, Marcus Wheaton being double teamed, incomplete. The Steelers defense shutting down Denver the second half, and really for most of the whole game. Denver's done a good job too. We've seen some more drives out of Pittsburgh though. And and Kurt's, calling his plays. Not really sure what he could be doing differently. Maybe some more end run to Lamar Miller. Maybe a little more flat passing. Doesn't have a lot of receiving targets. Short pass, Red Ellison, picked off 2 to 5 and 12, incomplete on the Red Rifles card. And Cincinnati Bengals fans can attest the Red Rifle does not have a good postseason track record in the NFL. 3rd and 10, 9:36 to go for the Broncos. At their own 21. We might be facing another 3 and out unless they can get one of those 50-yard long gains out of nowhere. They're only down by a touchdown. I think it's been on 3rd and long where he's gotten the 2 big plays. 1 sniper scope on a short pass and 1 long pass right on Dalton. That was a snake eyes. 4 wide, 1 halfback. Allen Hurns covered by 4. Marcus Wheaton covered by 4. Short pass, Kamal Rakin, not double teamed. 12 of the defense is an 11-yard completion. And forgive me for getting excited, but the Broncos finally convert on a 3rd and long. The first time they haven't been 3 out in a while, it seems like. Dalton 11 of 25, $150. Broncos up to their own 32. 9 minutes to go. They need a touchdown. They're down 13-6. Blocking back 1 halfback. Lamar Miller has 7 unfatigue carries left. And run left. Even if he gets the pass, 12-yard gain. So Miller's down to 6 unfatigue carries left, but there's only 8:24 to go. That's why we saw Hightower spelling him earlier. 14 carries for 54 yards for Lamar. Broncos trying to make it happen this drive. It's almost do or die time. It may be now or never, as the song says, for Denver. That'll be a flat pass. Short pass, Julius Thomas, even guessing a run, and Dalton threads the needle. 10-yard completion. The Broncos are across midfield. Can Ron Martin's defense come through one more time? 7:48 to go. Pittsburgh leads 13-6. Denver driving for pretty much the first time all game. Flat pass left to Lamar Miller. Linebacker in zone is incomplete. 5 on a 5. 5 on a 4. Well, White dive 4. So 4 on a 5. Either way, I don't know. Incomplete. Josh Bynes, who has been very active today. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos at the Pittsburgh 46. Okay, Kurt says, can I get some kind of positive play here? Something. 4, 5, 6 yards, anything. So not facing 3rd and long yet again. Flat pass right to Lamar Miller. Receiver gets right, incomplete. Called a play to make it happen. Couldn't make it happen. And he's got to convert another 3rd and long here. Otherwise, he'll punt. He does have the option of trying something that might get him 6 or 7 yards. Go for a 4th and short in no man's land. But he goes 4 wide, 1 halfback. So that doesn't seem likely unless he throws the flat pass here. I think you'll see him throw down the field. The dump off is in play. Got to figure Hurns or Wheaton likely to be double teamed. Maybe a short pass to Akins, only covered by a 5. Maybe Lamar Miller. Although Ron's got short pass Sammy Watkins, 4-man incomplete. So 4th and 10, 6:54 to go. Kurtz have to punt it and rely upon his own defense, which has done a pretty good job. One more time. So we'll see the coffin corner here for the Broncos as they punt for the Pittsburgh 46. Looks like they got a nice one. And out of bounds around the 11. 35-yard out of bounds coffin corner kick from John Ryan. And the Steelers take over their own 11, 6:36 to go. They lead 13-6. Ball game. Ronnie Hillman is the running back. And Ron's did a good job getting a few first downs throughout the game. A few first downs here would be tremendous. Flat pass left Michael Crabtree. No men there. 5 on Smith's card is a 5-yard gain. Alex Smith has 71 yards passing. And Ron's winning 13-6. 11 of 25 for 71 yards for Alex Smith. 2nd and 5 for Pittsburgh at their own 16. I bet we see a running play here, but maybe not. Ron doesn't want to throw flat into 2 men. Could see a short pass down the field. Flat pass right, Colby Fleener, 1 man there. Receiver gets right to 4-yard gain. Makes it 3rd and 1. Kurtzman bringing linebackers up aggressively on this possession. Ron hitting with flat passes. And we got a huge 3rd and 1, 5:24 to go in the game. Steelers lead 13-6. They're at their own 20. They could pick up this 1 yard. Next thing you know, we'll be down close to the 2-minute warning. We've seen both line bucks and off tackles and flat passes. We've seen all of the above from Ron in short yardage here today. So the defense has to be off balance here. Off tackle right, Ronnie Hillman. They run key Alex Smith. And Hillman gets 3 yards. What would that have been on a regular run call? It still would have been 1 yard in the first down. So we got 4:48 to go. 1st and 10, Emron right, Ronnie Hillman gains 5. 19 carries, 69 yards for Hillman. He's been the bellwether for Pittsburgh. And the stats aren't flashy, but he's gotten the job done. 2nd and 5. Ron is playing situational football today. 4:12 to go. He's at his own 28. 2nd and 5. Oh, he'd love another first down. Off tackle left to Hillman, gets wrong, gains 2. It's yet another 3rd and short for the Steelers. Can he convert yet one more time? And run more precious time off the clock for the Broncos. 2 tight end, 2 wide, 1 running back. 3-4 defense. So looking past the Fleener. 2 linebackers there. 7 on Alex Smith's card is 6 yards and a first down. And the clock runs further. First down for the Steelers at their own 36. 3 minutes to go. Denver has all 3 timeouts. They cannot afford to give up yet another first down to Pittsburgh, particularly on another 3rd and short. Short pass, Emmanuel Sanders, double teamed, incomplete. 7 would have been incomplete anyway, right, wrong, and double teamed. Ron knows that Kurt's gonna try and stuff the box, stuff the run and the flat passing. And decided to take a shot a little further down the field. But Kurt saw that coming and double-teamed Sanders successfully. So they got a 2nd and 10. He'll run it twice, get it down to the 2-minute warning. Trust his defense. No one wants to do that when you're only up by 1 score. You certainly want to get the first down. Flat pass left at Martellus Bennett. 2 men there, but receiver gets wrong, incomplete. So an odd result there as defense called run but flooded the flat. So they had 2 men in zone. Great. They got on defense's card, but they got receiver. Guess wrong. Incomplete. Martellus Bennett, not a lot of yardage there for a tight end. Guess wrong. But Ron would have taken any of that yardage. Instead, it's an incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10 for the Steelers at their own 36. 2:24. Big 3rd and long. He converted 1 early, maybe 2 early. Hasn't had to in a while. And this is it. I mean, if Ron can convert this, he'll almost certainly win this game. If he can't, Denver's got that chance. Short pass, Colby Fleener gets wrong. The defense calls run on 3rd and 10. I don't like that call, but he was rewarded because it would have been a must run. Guess right. Ron might have got a first down. Instead, Alex Smith rolls 7 on his own card, incomplete. 2, 5, 9, 14, 17 short pass wrong units, and the receiver readings gets him over 20, but Ron couldn't hit that. So 4th and 10, 2:06 to go. And it is Brad Nortman out to punt again. A 47-yard punt. Murphy has a touchdown on 2. That's about his only big gain. He fields it at his own 17. Let's see what happens here. And he gets a 3, which is not a bad gain either, 12 yards, out to the 29-yard line. So we're down to the final 2 minutes of the game, the nitty-gritty here. The Denver Broncos trailing 13-6. They need a touchdown to tie the game, or the season is over. SOMSFA playoff game. Winner makes the semifinals. Blocking back, 1 halfback. Lamar Miller's got some big runs in the card. 2 minutes to go. Defense stays 3-3-4. Long pass, Sammy Watkins. 1 man there. Receiver gets right. Long gain, Sammy Watkins. Going down the sideline, the 20, the 10. Oh, Sammy Watkins. A 63-yard catch and run. He's got 4 catches for 157 yards. Receiver gets right with 1 man in zone. Long gain. It would have been 91 yards and a touchdown. Watkins can only go 63. Steps out of bounds at the 8. Pittsburgh calls timeout on defense. To regroup, I don't think so. But to make sure he's got time for his offense. Because Denver's not going to run more than 3 plays here. And Robinson will give his offense time to try to get into field goal range if he gives up a touchdown. If he does not give up a touchdown, he can take a knee. 1st and goal, Denver, the Pittsburgh 8. Full house backfield, Tim Hightower and Alfred Morris in the game with Rhett Ellison the blocking back. Ron's got the good pass defense, so interceptions are a bit more of a problem here for Kurt and his Denver Broncos. Sammy Watkins has got 3 catches of 40 yards or more. And for the game, 4 for $1.57. What's Kirk going to do? He's got all 3 timeouts. He's got 4 plays to score. Ron's got 5 inside linebackers against the run. Emron right out for Morris. Gets right. Gets wrong. 7 yards. So Ron was looking for the pass, and Morris popped his own card for a 7-yard gain. One of the better results. It is 2nd and goal for Denver at the Pittsburgh 1-yard line. 1:45 to go. All Kurt's got to do is punch it in for this 1 yard and kick the extra point to tie it. He's got Dan Carpenter, who stinks at extra points. He might go for 2. I had Carpenter in my fall league team. I think he's only 2-9 and 12, or 2-9 maybe. This offense got good interior run blocking, but the backs cards aren't that great. If you're going to go for 2, you need 2 yards. He could miss that extra point easily. Second to go for the one. Linebacker Andy Dalton. Run key elsewhere. Nose tackle -1 or +2. Rodney Gunter makes the play. Pushes Dalton back a yard. 3rd and goal from the 2. The Steelers used their last timeout. 3rd and goal from the 2. Full house backfield. Double tight end. Defense shows blitz. Strong secondary for Ron. Could see a short pass, Julius Thomas, or a run up the middle, try and hit his blocking. Short pass, Julius Thomas gets wrong. Touchdown on a 5 from Dalton to Thomas. Makes it 13-12. Dan Carpenter comes out the extra point. It's only like 2-9. It's only like 2-9. He's got to make this to tie the game. The longer extra point. And it's good. 2-9 and 12. He hits a 12. Ties the game at 13. Ron's got to be upset. The kick goes down to the 2-yard line. It's returned 25 yards out to the 27 by Keyshawn Martin. 1:15 to go. Steelers have no timeouts, but they've got the ball at their own 27. They've got Matt Prater, who I think can try it from about the 42. So Ron's thinking, all I need is 31 yards. I can get a few flat passes, maybe I can get a run with Hillman. Something good can happen. He stays 2 tight ends, 2 wides, 1 running back. The left end's only a 4. Might see them run for Hillman over there. He would even take a 12-yard gain or a flat pass. I think we'll see a run or a flat pass, either Emron with Hillman or Alex Smith, if he has any left, and it looks like he does. Kirk can't get too conservative here. Emron right, Ronnie Hillman, offensive onside and 0 -1. It's a 1-yard loss. Kobe Fleener could not make the block. Kurt had people in the defensive zone. Was blitzing there. Was not really playing it safe, so to speak. 2nd and 11 for the Steelers. They're on 26. Only 45 seconds to go in the regulation, because it looks like we're going to overtime if Ron can't score here. And we're right, Ronnie Hillman. It's a short gain and a first down, 12-yard first down, and they have no timeouts left. So they have to spike the ball or hurry up. They're up to their own 38. They only need about 20 more yards. But they might only have 1 or 2 plays. Ronnie Hillman's fatigued. So you could see an Emron with Alex Smith. You could see a flat pass, which has the benefit of stopping the clock if it's incomplete. Defense nickel 3-3-5. Ron staying 2 tight end, 2 wide, 1 running back. He did go hurry up there. Emron left to Hillman. 10 gets wrong. There's no gain. Oh, that's a terrible reading for Ron. He did get out of bounds. But now at best, you've got 2 plays to get your roughly 20 yards. I think Prater kicks out to the 42, at least out to the 41. And with the variation, you could try to up to 3 yards further, I guess. You don't want to really have to do that. Beggars can't be choosers. He has no timeouts. Bishop Sankey checks in. 2nd down and 10. Maybe Ron's going to try and fire a couple of short pass completions. Defense goes dime 3-2-6. Leaves the looking pass open for now, knowing that Ron has no timeouts. If Ron can get 2 short pass completions out of bounds, that can be his field goal right there. Looking pass to James Jones. 1-man receiver is double teamed, incomplete. And now Ron's down to his last possible play to set up a field goal. So you'll probably see a bomb. Try and pop something on Alex Smith's card on a long pass. Maybe get a lucky dump off. Get your 20+ on yards and try a game-winning field goal. Long pass completion would certainly give you a very makeable game-winning field goal attempt. The odds are low of it, but you got to go for it. Maybe about 3 long pass right units on Alex Smith's card. Short pass James Jones is complete for 11 yards and a first down. Looks like the clock's going to expire here. Even on the bomb that wasn't going to do it. Yep, we're going to go to overtime here. 13-13. Denver wins the toss, and they're going to receive it. Remember, we're in modern NFL overtime rules. So it's not first score is not necessarily in the game. It's not sudden death unless you score a touchdown. Rashad Ross does have a touchdown on his kick returning on 2. It's been a hell of a game. Kick goes down to the 1-yard line for Marcus Murphy. Gets a nice 26-yard return up to the 27. And out comes the Denver offense that has done nothing all game except complete 3 bombs to Sammy Watkins. And the coaches wish each other good luck again as we start the overtime period. The clock doesn't matter. We're going to keep going no matter what happens until somebody wins or someone's computer crashes. Left tackle Jordan Lamar Miller. Defense calls run. Offensive onside end. +3 or 0. And Brett Elson having a terrible game blocking. Could not make the block again. He's a 5. Keeps missing it. No gain, which is what you expect against a draw that is correctly diagnosed. 2nd down and 10. Miller down to 5 on fatigue carries. That can become an issue for both teams. Ronnie Hillman already fatigued for the Steelers, who do have Isaiah Crowell, but I think he has a high fumble number. Not Ron Martin's cup of tea. And we're left to Lamar Miller. Offensive onside end +9 or +4. This time, Red Ellison gets the job done. Lines up his defender. Gets his hands low on the chest. And makes the 9-yard block to set up a 3rd and 1 for the Broncos. A rare foray into 3rd and short for the Denver Ball Club today. Alfred Morris is your running back as they stay blocking back. Derek Morgan's only a 44 left outside. You could see an off tackle right for Denver. I think they tried that earlier. They ran into Danny Trevathan. It's been big plays to Watkins. Linebacker Alfred Morris. Defense run king Dalton. Gets wrong as a 5-yard gain for Alfred. 1st and 10 for Denver at their own 41. That would have been no gain. Simply guessed right. And the Broncos called timeout. They have 3. I think you're only supposed to get 2 in the overtime. But they've got 3. That may have been to bring Lamar Miller back in the game. Morris can probably run unfatigued in overtime. Certainly, I think he's a 50 to 99 type of guy. I think that's the rule for overtime. I would have to look. Left tackle right, Lamar Miller. Defense double teaming Sammy Watkins. Offensive onside tackle Bobby Massey is a 5. Could not make the block. And it's only a 3-yard gain instead of an 8-yard gain. But Denver is up to their own 44 here. So they do have a drive going. Tim Hightower checks in. That was the name of the, was that the name of, wasn't there a guy in the white shadow named Hightower? I don't know. 2nd down and 7. Short pass, Allen Hurns. Defense calls run. Gets wrong, 10-yard completion. Across midfield at the Pittsburgh 46. The touchdown wins the game. And the one thing the Broncos have had on offense today is big play capability. It's been to Sammy Watkins, 4 catches, 157 yards. Huge 63-yard bomb to set the game tying touchdown in the late in the 4th quarter in the final 2 minutes. Flat pass left, Tim Hightower. Defense guessing run. Linebacker 5 there. White die 6 is a 20-yard completion. It's from Andy Dalton to Tim Hightower. And the Broncos are suddenly at the Pittsburgh 26. There is no sudden death unless it's via the touchdown. So Pittsburgh's got to defend that end zone. Can the Broncos traverse these final 26 yards and have a big come from behind overtime playoff victory? Linebacker to Hightower. Defense calls run. It's a 2-yard gain. Dan Carpenter's a good field goal kicker, not so much for the extra point. And second down and 8. I hope that Kurt realizes this is not sudden death on a field goal. Keep calling your plays. Maybe try a flat pass. You don't want to get picked off. We know that. We know the defense. It's been a defensive game. Maybe it feels like you can kick a field goal and stop Ron and win. And we're left to Lamar Miller's a 3-yard gain. Defense guesses wrong. 3rd and 5 for Denver at the Pittsburgh 21. Very strong field goal opportunity here. It's 3rd and 5. The run is in play. Both coaches know that. Offense goes 3 wide. I don't like that choice. I'd rather see him go blocking back and throw a pass because we all know that he might be running it there. I don't want to run white die here with Lamar Miller, and I've turned all my 5 blockers into 4s. No shotgun. So that's going to be in Ron's mind. Flat pass right, Sammy Watkins, linebacker 6. Receiver gets right, incomplete for Watkins. And it's 4th and 5. Dan Carpenter comes out. A huge 38-yard field goal attempt to take a 16-13 overtime lead. I think it's 2-10. It might only be 2-9. And it was 2-10, and it's good. A 38-yard kick for Carpenter. The Broncos lead 16-13 in overtime. Pittsburgh must score or die. The kick is 9 yards deep into the end zone. This will almost certainly be a touchback for Keyshawn Martin. Does not have that type of ability. Few do. And Martin takes a knee. The Steeler offense comes out to their own 20. They were in control of this game. Could never lead by more than a touchdown. Had the early touchdown after the interception in Denver territory. Tried to make it hold up, but in the 2-minute against the Denver 2-minute offense, the Steeler defense could not hold. Sammy Watkins with a 63-yard catch on a receiver long pass. And now the Steeler offense has to score or lose. They're down 16-13 in overtime. The clock doesn't even matter. Isaiah Crowell checks in for the fatigued Ronnie Hillman. A turnover ends the game. If they get to 4 downs, they're going to go for it. Crowell's got some big yardage on the card. Long pass, Michael Crabtree gets wrong. 7 incomplete on Alex Smith's card. Oh, my stars and garters. Smith only has 8 units of long pass completion. And the receiver. But you're in overtime and you see a long pass wrong to a decent receiver, you get pretty excited. Alex Smith, 14 of 33 for 92 yards. 2nd down and 10. There was a safety 5 back there. We've seen some double teaming of Emmanuel Sanders. So you could see what Ron was thinking there. And he got what he wanted in the play call, but not in the dice result. 2nd down and 10 for Pittsburgh at their own 20. We're in overtime. They're losing by a field goal. They have to score. Short pass, Kobe Fleener. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Dump off for 10 yards and a 1st down to Michael Crabtree underneath. Ryan Harris picking up Rob Dinkovich on the block. It was a 1-32 sack. There were blitzes in play, I think. A couple for Denver. Steelers at their own 30. 1st and 10. Field goal ties the game and continues it. Touchdown wins it. Anything else, and they lose. Turnover and downs, and you lose. Fumble or throw a pick, you lose. What a dramatic finish here in SOMSFA to make the semifinals. Both of these guys had a very good season, and they're really showing why today with some strong coaching. Getting a lot out of these limited teams. 3 wide, 1 halfback with a pistol now for Ron. Defense counted with a dime 3-2-6. I don't like that. You should see a line buck here probably for Crowell. There's a draw for Crowell. Gets a white die 1. So it gets right on his card. Only a 1-yard gain, and he does not fumble at all. He's only a 6 on the fumble. So that won't be an issue. His card not that great. That's a separate issue. Does have some big runs, though. Plus 50 on a 2, plus 23 on 11. His off-tackle card looked a little more appealing. He did pop a 28-yard run in the first half. He's going to carries for 53 yards. 2nd and 9. Ronnie Hillman on the bench fatigued. For Pittsburgh at their own 31. 3 wide, 1 halfback again. Defense goes nickel this time. Not dime. Ron's in the pistol. So he can run it. Well, we see an off tackle for Crowell. Flat pass right to Kobe Fleener. Gets right. Receiver, 4 yards on Fleener. He's got 6 catches for 37. 3rd and 5. Pittsburgh at their own 35. They have to convert the 4th down. It's four down territory. They lose if they don't convert this. As someone makes a lot of noise in the background, I'm guessing it's Dennis Crowley.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
We're in overtime, and the game might be about to end, so hold on. 3rd and 5 for Ron. He's down 16-13 in overtime. 4 down territory. He has to convert. The run is in play. Bishop Sankey checks in. He goes 2 tight ends. He wants to break containment to set up his 4th down here. He's down 16-13 overtime. Flat pass right to Sankey. Defender X +2/+5. 2-yard gain for Sankey. Manning Lawson makes another good play. 4th and 3 in overtime, Dennis. For Ron at his own 37. Kirk kicked a field goal on his overtime possession. So Ron's down 16-13. He has to convert this or the game is over and he loses.
Just out of curiosity, has Ron used Alex Smith's end run card much today? That's a weapon that I don't think I've seen so far since I've been watching.
Yeah, he used it a lot. He used it quite a bit earlier.
How many carries does he have left?
3 wide, 1 halfback. Well, this could be the last play of the game. So 3 wide, 1 halfback, and a pistol. I don't like that 3 wide here on 4th down. Defense goes nickel 3-3-5. Ron has been throwing flat from this. When he's tried to run here, it hasn't worked. I would have preferred a base offense. At least he gets that extra guy out of there, but the free safety will certainly come up. Short pass to Emmanuel Sanders. Smith takes off in the must run, gets the 1st down. 9-yard pickup for Alex Smith on a 4th and 3 that would have ended the game if he didn't get it. There was a pass rush situation, only a 1-7 sack for Lawrence Guy. 1st and 10 for the Steelers at their own 46. Not sure how many carries Smith has left there, Dennis, but it's at least 1. Pittsburgh at their own 46. They got Matt Prater, excellent field goal kicker this year, and he can try it from deep, but you want to get inside that 32 where it's 2-10. And we're right, Alex Smith, there it is, guess right, 1-yard gain. He popped the Snake Eyes +29, Dennis, earlier on Alex Smith.
I think that's a short gain, guessed wrong, so great call there by Kurt.
2nd down and 9. Both coaches have mixed in good defensive run calls and have caught the other guy in big spots. Ronnie Hillman's tired. He's been running the ball all day for Ron. 2nd and 9 for the Steelers at their own 47. 5:24 to go. The clock doesn't matter. We're in overtime. Pittsburgh has to score this possession or lose. And they can win with a touchdown. 3 wide again. I don't like it. I like to see Isaiah Crowell in there with the blocking back. I think Ron's options have been better when he's done that. But he's been going 3 wide and throwing flat. Crowell's card not that good. Short pass, James Jones. Defender extra short gain. And it's a 1st down. Demarius Randall, the rookie 4, cannot make the play in the white tie 6. 15 yards and a 1st down for the Steelers at the Denver 38. What a game this has been from the 2-minute warning of regulation. Unbelievable. Defense showing blitz this time. Field goal ties it and continues the overtime and turns into a sudden death. Touchdown wins it for Pittsburgh. Look at past Fleener. Blitzes are on. Linebackers a 0. Receiver gets right 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. Pittsburgh on the cusp of a game-tying field goal.
Yeah, you already mentioned that Prater's great. He's good out to the 42, so they're well within Prater's range now.
Yes, but inside the 32 is 2-10 or better. So that's what you want. 2nd and 5 for the Steelers, but also, hey, if you can keep this drive going, then you start thinking game-winning touchdown. Short pass to Emmanuel Sanders being double-teamed. Gets a dump-off, loses a yard on the dump-off. A precious yard. Oh, what a terrible result for Ron. Sanders had single coverage. There was no blitzing. What is Prater from deep, Dennis? 2-6, 11-12?
He is, yes, 2-6, 11-12. Exactly right. 33-42.
50-50 shot. So everyone knows, everyone and their brother knows, Ron needs to get at least 2 yards here. Get into 2nd 10, get into 2-10 range, and that's why you go with the base offense. 2 tight, 2 wide, 1 running back from the pistol. Smith still has the end run. Defense goes nickel 3-3-5. Could be goading Ron into a guess right run call here. The flat pass very much in play. I would not like to see a draw. Maybe a straight run off tackle left for Crowell. His card is not that bad. Or off tackle right because the defensive end over there is a 4. Get that extra yardage. Set it be 2-10 field goal. That's how I would play it, Dennis. Flat pass right to Fleener. Double teamed.
Oh, my.
That's right. That would have been a short gain. What a clutch double team by Kurt.
Wow.
And out comes Prater. 51-yard field goal to tie the game or end your season. 2-6, 11, and 12.
Keep the variable in mind. If he gets a -2 here, it will be 2-10.
That's right. So that helps. So it's better than 50-50, but not by much. Maybe 55-45, 58-42, somewhere in that range. Ron thinking it over. Kurt choosing not to ice the kicker. I saw Michael Reeves, I think, do that against someone. Call timeout at the end.
I love it. Add to the realism. Why not?
A little better than 50% chance. Not 60%, I don't think, but probably somewhere in that 53 to 59 neighborhood. 51 out of 10 for Matt Prater. 2-6, 11 to 12 with no variable. It's up and good. He gets the variable. Matt Prater gets the variable. Becomes a 2-10 kick. 51-yarder. He makes it 16-16. 3 minutes to go in the first overtime session. Now it's sudden death.
Prater.
Right. Of course, I've never said anything bad about Matt Prater ever.
Yeah,
and we'll be back after this.
So let's talk about the Earl from the forums rare play chart. That could have come into play right there. We could have seen a little triangle dot jump over the line and bypass the center and block the field goal.
I suppose.
Like a little Bobby Wagner, Cam Chancellor type of leap.
Yeah, I think we get it. I think we have plenty of drama. We don't need the rare play in this one to bring it up. But this was a defensive game throughout. When did you join us?
I probably joined as a passive viewer, maybe midway through the fourth quarter.
Okay, well, what happened was Andy Dalton threw an interception on Denver's first possession of the game that Ron returned to the 25, went to short field for a touchdown, and then the game was just a defensive game from there. Denver, field goals, stuff like that. It was 10-3 Pittsburgh at the half. Denver's entire offense was a couple of bombs to Sammy Watkins. They had a sniper scope on a short pass for a 40-yard gain to set up one field goal. Then they had a long gain snake eyes on Dalton gets right for a 52-yard completion to set up another field goal, and it was 13-6. 13-6 Pittsburgh with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And then Denver got the ball, and they got a couple of first downs, got up towards midfield, threw a long pass, yes, right, one man in zone, receiver for Watkins, long gain on Watkins' card, would have been 91 yards, but he can only go 63, so actually didn't even go out towards midfield before that. But it was a 63-yard completion to Watkins down to like the Denver 8, to the Pittsburgh 8, rather. And here's the kickoff in overtime. Down to the 1-yard line, 23-yard return. But that's how Denver tied the game. It was after that, like a minute and 10 seconds left. A 63-yard completion, receiver gets right to Sammy Watkins, and that's been pretty much their whole offense.
Yeah, and you got to feel pretty good if you're Denver because you've used up all the carries from Hillman.
Hold on. That was 16-16 sure. Overtime. Now Lamar Miller's got the big runs on his card.
Exactly. He's unfatigued, so you got plenty of options here.
Short pass to Allen Hurns. Must run for Dalton. Gain 6. He can gain a few yards there. 2nd and 4. Now Miller only has a few carries left, though, Dennis. I think 3 or 4. Unfatigued. Tim Hightower is the backup, and Alfred Morris has taken the field a little bit in the fourth quarter and overtime as well. 2nd and 4 for Denver, near the end of the first overtime session. 2:06 to go. Off tackle left for Miller, defensive nose tackle, +4 or +9. Gunter makes the play, but it's 4 yards in a first down. I think Miller only has 1 carry left, Dennis. I think he's at 20 unfatigued carries. I was looking at that earlier. He's at 19 for 73, and he's back in the game. Denver at their own 34.
Yeah, and you can run a couple more times. You only need one drive here. Four more carries is plenty.
I mean, we look at 1 unfatigued, but I know you only. What's the first fatigue level? You use 1 yard, guess right, or something like that?
Yeah, you lose 1 yard fatigue level 1, 2 yards fatigue level 2. So that's really 5 more carries. He can have.
Defensive onside tackle +8 or +3, but the 5 does not make the block. Bobby Massey. Kurtz had mixed results from his offensive line with the 5s today. They've missed more than their share of blocks, particularly Rhett Ellison, who's a blocking back. 2nd down and 7 for the Broncos at their own 37. Miller now fatigued. You can still run him. I'd like to see that end run gets wrong. Both of these defensive coaches did a good job snuffing out the run with some timely calls in situations like this. There's an end run left for Miller. Gets wrong. Would have been 4 yards. It's only 3. So it's 3rd and 4, but that Evan wrong column is not too bad. Might want to bring in Hightower here. Or Alfred Morris is he ran his column earlier, wasn't too bad. We had a Tim Hightower run guessed correctly earlier by Ron. 3rd and 4 for Denver, their own 40. Now he's got Dan Carpenter, Dennis, who I think is like 2-7, out to like the 40 or 41. He was my fall kicker.
I'll check that.
Hightower the back, block and back formation. That's been Kurt's preferred formation by far today. Long pass, Alan Hearns, dump off, 7 yards and a first down. So you get excited for the bomb, and then you see the dump off to Rhett Ellison. Andy Dalton, 17 of 35, 262. 157 of that to Sammy Watkins.
So Carpenter's 2 through 6 out to the 37.
2 to 6 or 2 to 6 and more than that? Just 2 to 6, really? I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Maybe it was last year. Anyway, 16-16. Denver with the ball at their own 47. They need to get about 20 more yards or so. A little more than that, preferably, to get into makeable range for Carpenter. You don't want to miss that 2 to 6 game winner and give Ron the ball at the 40. Looks like a right for Tim Hightower. Gets right, -2. Hightower's got 5 carries for 2 yards. He may need to go back into hiatus.
One thing to keep in mind are you can go 3-3-5 anytime you want in overtime. A lot of people forget about that, but there's no reason to stay in base defense if you prefer the 3-3-5.
Yes. Yeah, LeBron's been doing a good job with base defense, so he might feel good about said base defense. Second down and 12 now for the Broncos at their own 45. Short pass to Sammy Watkins, 3-minute zone. There's a blitz on, receive a long gain. Watkins going to the end zone. There it is. Touchdown. Touchdown, Sammy Watkins. Who else? Unbelievable. A 55-yard short pass, guess right, receiver, long gain on Watkins' card on a 3. 5 catches, 212 yards, and a touchdown for Watkins. It's been all Watkins all the time. An amazing play to end this tough game. Ron has got to be irritated. Who's that right corner 6? That's Jason Verrett, looking like a 0 out there. Wow. Unbelievable finish.
5 catches for 212 yards. 40 yards a catch? My goodness.
And only one of them was a true long pass. But and not only that, but they were clutch. I mean, 55-yard game-winning touchdown here in overtime, 30 seconds to go in the first session. 22-16, the Broncos win and advance behind Kurt Retzlaff's.
I picture Sammy Watkins catching, running for the touchdown and just keep going right out of the tunnel, a la Flipper Anderson against the Giants in the 80s and 88 playoffs.
I picture Watkins coming to the side and putting both arms up in the air.
A little Des Bryant action, huh?
Maybe.
No, he's the X.
Either way. And he had the 55-yard short pass right, long gain touchdown to win the game. 63-yard long pass right, long gain to sit at the game tying touchdown in the final 2 minutes of regulation. Unbelievable.
That's using your weapon. That was like his best weapon all year, and he came to play today. Way to go.
And Ron typing in Watson killed me. It was not Watson, elementary, my friend. It was Watkins.
Watkins.
Wow, what a game. What a finish.
Amazing.
The heartbreak, the sorrow, wow, unbelievable. But Ron had to feel like he had this game, Dennis. 13-6, 2 minutes to go. He'd been shutting down Denver the entire game. And then, bang, Watkins again. I mean, their whole offense was Watkins.
Yeah.
It was a 40-yard sniper scope to Watkins to set up their first field goal. It was a 52-yard long pass right long in Dalton's card to set up their second field goal. It was a 63-yard long pass receiver guess right long in on Watkins' card to set up the game-tying touchdown in the last 2 minutes of regulation. And then it was the 55-yard short pass right receiver long game for Watkins. Unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of times you can get in a game like that when you're winning by a touchdown and you feel like you're in control, you're stuffing him on defense. You can get a little complacent on offense, thinking, you know what? I'm playing so good on defense, I don't need to take chances. I can go conservative. And then the next thing you know, he gets one big play, ties the game, and look what happened in overtime. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more aggressive on offense.
Well, I agree with you in general, but I think Ron his defense is playing well, partly because it is a very good defensive team, and Kurt's offense isn't that great, and both guys were coaching a very good defensive game. And Ron was, he's got Alex Smith, and he was playing kind of ball control West Coast on offense. And I think I was okay with his approach there. He had a possession right before the end of regulation where, he got the ball with 6:36 to go at his own 11. He got a couple of first downs, got up towards the 2-minute warning. He did throw a short pass that was like correctly double teamed on a 1st and 10. He was trying to get those first downs and run out the clock, but it didn't work out for him, and he had to punt. So I think Ron was not guilty of that this time.
Okay.
Although people can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well, yeah. But like you said, we've all been there. Your defense is playing well. It's a 1-score game. I mean, Ron was just dying to push that lead out to a second score, even if you're going to get up by 10 points. He had some chances late third quarter. Certainly the drive, the possession rather, right before the 2-minute warning at the end of regulation, and he just couldn't get it done. I mean, neither offense was really lighting it up, with the exception of these plays to Sammy Watkins.
I tell you what, you know what I really love?
Cream cheese and bagels?
Yes, that's true. The rule changes this year where you're not losing a playoff game because you lost your star quarterback or there were penalties that took away your big plays. I love the way these games are playing out where it's going to be decided by the coaching and the cards.
Indeed. 404 yards offense for Denver, 212 to Watkins. And I'll tell you, Denver, they probably had about half their offense in the overtime period. They scored 10 points in overtime, 9 points in overtime. And, the regulation at one point, Watkins had 157 yards receiving, and they only had about 200 yards offense.
Yeah. But looking at the stats, you say he wasn't playing conservative. When Alex Smith has a 3.2 yards per attempt, I mean, obviously some of that's Kurt's great double teaming and play calling, but you're not opening it up very much. If you got 3.2 yards per attempt, you're throwing a majority of your passes flat. Yes or no?
Yes, he was throwing a majority of passes flat, but he also threw a fair amount of short passes. He had a long pass guess wrong on the first play of overtime. But Alex Smith's not that great at the bomb. And, Kurt was keeping the free safety back there a lot. And what Ron was doing was kind of working. I mean, the team is, look, you got Alex Smith, Ronnie Hillman, and Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah, you're right.
How aggressive you want him to be, you know what I'm saying?
Well, but what I think is in this rule set, when you have the dump-offs come into play, if you just throw flat, you're taking away a big weapon by not getting those dump-offs.
Yeah, well, he was throwing a fair amount of short passes. I mean, I don't know what the final breakdown was, but he threw a fair amount of short passes, So
he was throwing them, but he just wasn't hitting.
He certainly wasn't hitting. There was a lot of successful double teaming. There was a 3rd and 10 late in the game where Kirk called a run and Ron threw a short pass. That was incomplete. He's getting some must runs. You see that Smith had 9 carries.
So he had a little bit of bad luck too.
Yeah, I guess, but also, good defense. And Kirk did a really good job of double teaming. Both guys played well. Ron had 40 carries for 200 yards, but I know what you're saying. 3.2, you don't like to see it, I guess. But I don't know. I like the way both guys called their game. So I wouldn't really I don't feel like it was that was an issue. I think,
on either part.
I think they both just coached well. It was a tight game. Both defenses were playing well. I think they both were saying, I'm not going to screw it up, sort of. And look, you don't expect a guy to be getting, short pass, long gains all over the place, and 63 and 55 yard receptions. That's right.
Kudos to Kurt overcoming the 0-2 turnover differential, and winning. Yeah,
both these guys coached a great game, and played a great game. It was a great game, and they're on to the semifinals. The Kurt's Denver Broncos are in SOMSFA, and
here's my fun stat of the day. Sammy Watkins' lowest catch was higher than the total yardage of any other receiver on Denver.
I'm sure it was. I think 40 yards. Was that his?
Yeah, his lowest catch was 40 yards or something like that, and the the highest total for any other receiver was 30 yards on the Broncos. So it was Sammy or nothing.
And it definitely was. Wow, what an amazing finish. The overtime rules with, you can't win on a field goal certainly enhance the game. Because all the drama of Ron needing to score or lose.
Right.
In overtime. And then converting the fourth. He converted the 4th and 3 on the defender X against Demarius Randall. It was only a 4 for the first down. And then you think, well, Ron could get a touchdown to win the game. He loses a yard on the dump off on the flat pass snake eyes on right. And he's got to make basically a 50-50 field goal to tie it, and he does. And wow, it's just an amazing game.
And that wouldn't have happened. We take some of these things for granted as Strat adds these new optional rules in. But think about it, without the variable field goal rule,
yeah, he would have missed that.
Been over on that field goal attempt. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, and that is a good rule.
Yeah,
because before it was like, okay, getting to the 33 is like literally twice as good as getting. I'm sorry, it used to be like getting to the 32 is twice as good as getting to the 33.
Yeah, you would have. You probably would have seen a quarterback sneak on that 4th down or 3rd down to get it to set up something like that.
Yeah, and there's no way that 1 yard actually gives you twice as good of a chance of making a field goal.
Yeah, love it. So what a game! Great job.
And you're going to call. Thanks. And you've got the 1:30, the 1:30 start.
Yeah, we're 40 minutes away from NFL Ed against Jeff Winlet.
And that is also SOMSFA, or is that SSFA?
At SOMSFA. So
it's all SOMSFA today, except for the Washington-Oakland SSFA playoff game that Michael Reeves is calling, as I'm calling your Seattle game.
Sounds great. Yeah, it's going to be a great day of Strat football today.
All right, Dennis. I'll see you later. Maybe I'll try to pop in for the Ed game. I got some stuff to try to take care of.
Sounds good.
You'll certainly be eventually hearing me for your game.
Excellent.
Well, obviously you won't be hearing me while you're coaching, but hopefully if you win, then you might listen to the game after. So
win or lose, I'll come on and talk to you.
Okay.
Briefly.
All right, Dennis. I'll catch you later. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the games. Bye-bye.
See ya.